The Friday night season is off and rolling here at the Stafford Motor Speedway as we prepare for our second Friday night event of the 2022 season with the Call Before You Dig 81 for the Open Modifieds and Bonssa Tufa. The last time we saw the Open Modifieds, the 50th Napa Springs Sizzler, which did not disappoint.
It did not. It was quite a duel between Ryan Preece and Matt Hirschman for the win and the SRX ride, which was the big deal at that time. Hirschman came out with the win, but great racing throughout the event from lap 1 to lap 100, as we always have at the Open Modifieds. The competition's great. You got the Stafford locals. You got the guys from Long Island. You got guys from all over New England coming over here. We've seen the Stafford hometown drivers win most of the races, but still, the competition is really good. You have a good 10 to dozen cars that can win this event, including our defending winner of the Call Before You Dig 81, and Mike Christopher Jr.
Teaming up once again with Tommy Baldwin Jr. as they won the event a year ago. You mentioned some of the other locals, though, that struggled last month in the Sizzler. Keith Rocco and Woody Pitcap both come to mind, and both have found success in an Open Modified here at Stafford.
Yeah, Keith's got a couple wins in the Open Modified. Woody's won in just about everything you can run here at Stafford, and he was really fast in Sizzler weekend. The duels and in the race itself had some trouble at the end of the race, but you can never count those guys out. The Sultan of Stafford and the four-time SK Modified champion, Marcello Refrano. He had an accident in turn 2. He's a former Open Modified winner at Stafford. And then you got the guys like Todd Owen. He also struggled in the Sizzler. And then you got Ronnie Williams, who did really well. He's going to be one to watch. Matt Galco was extremely fast during Sizzler weekend. He led some laps. He's going to be one to watch as well in that Stan Mertz 6.
And a lot of those drivers also compete full-time in the SK Modified division here on Friday night. What a race a week ago with David Arute claiming the win, his third in, 5 races?
Yeah, and Chassis Pro's 5th consecutive win if you include that TC13 shootout win by David Arute. Chassis Pro's on a roll right now. There's no one that can really stop him, it seems. But I've said it before, the field is tight. And you got guys like Brian Narducci who have really come to their own. I know it's 2 races in, but 2 seconds. He's the only driver in the SK Modifieds that has 2 top 5 finishes in the first 2 races of the year. Marcello Refrano, what a bounce back. After a bad Sizzler race, came back, got up to 3rd, and if he had 1 caution, maybe he would have been up there competing with David and Brian. But right now, that's 75, net 81. They are tough to beat. Todd won the season opener. David won last week. Does anybody have anything for Chassis Pro?
We'll find out this Friday night as they look to continue their streaks. And speaking of bounce backs, Bonza, Kevin Gambacorta did just that in the late model division after a crash on Sizzler weekend, came back to claim the win.
He was so disappointed after that early wreck in the spring Sizzler. But that's the same car he won 3 races with last year, and you know he was going to come back with extra motivation. It doesn't help that his son won the Wild Thing karts the week before, so he couldn't have Colton have a one-up on him like any other father would when it comes to racing. But what a dominant performance. Took the lead away from Andrew Moeller, who also had a good bounce-back performance to finish 2nd. But once Kevin took the lead, he pulled away, and it was a very, very commanding victory and a big statement to the late model field that despite the early wreck, Gambacorta's here, and he's going to be just as good, if not better, than last year.
And in the SK Light Modifieds, after a couple of races of minimal cautions, minimal carnage, they made up for it last Friday.
It wasn't pretty, but every division has to have a bit of a rough night. And that was the SK Lights last Friday night. It all seemed to happen in turn 1 for some reason. I don't know why, but a lot of our top contenders were involved in wrecks. Most notably Derek Debus, the defending champion, who took a wild ride in turn 1. You thought for a moment he might go over. He got tipped over by Alex Pearl, who, what a rough season he's had so far. 2 starts, 2 big wrecks for him. We saw guys like Joey Farino get involved in a wreck. We saw Amanda West running top 5 before she got caught up in an accident. But a couple guys that didn't get caught up in trouble, Tyler Chapman, Tyler Berry, the Tyler and Tyler show. And what a show. It was a great last 4 laps. When there was racing, it was good racing. And those two were crossing each other over all the way down to the start-finish line where we're standing right now. And 600ths of a second was the gap. It was a great finish. And we had a couple surprises in the top 5 as well.
A couple of drivers having their career best finishes in Brandon Michael finishing 4th. Megan Fuller getting her first career top 5. So they're hoping to capitalize on that momentum here this Friday night and carry it over into the SK Light Modified feature event.
Let's not forget Charlie McDougall.
Yes.
2 top 10s to start off the year, including a 6th place run last week, and he was up there fighting for the lead too. So good on the Zero team for a good start to the year.
Driver that wasn't even on a lot of radars at the beginning of the season, so keep an eye on Charlie looking for his 3rd consecutive top 10 finish. Limited late models. Another wild race. 2nd week in a row. Wild event at the front of the field. And a tough hit, again, for our defending champion.
Yeah, Alex Fern, 2 races, 2 DNFs, this time in turn 3, battling for 2nd spot with Damian Pilardi. who was fast that race too. That's one thing to keep in mind, is that 87 was pretty quick. But they got together, ended both their nights. It wasn't even that bad of a hit for Alex, but it cut her left rear tire down, and that's what it takes. So real tough luck for her. It's too early to talk about the championship picture, but it's going to be hard to recover from 2 bad races to start off the year. At the front of the field, good battle between Matt Clement and Rich Hammond. Hammond making the move, coming to the white flag, taking the lead and getting the win. Hammond got that old throwback scheme again, but this time it's a Ricky Rudd throwback scheme. So good on Hammond for getting his 3rd career limited late model win. He's been racing for a long time, but he's finally got the equipment, and he's really showing what he can do with that equipment.
All of those wins coming in the last 12 months, they say once you get your first, the others come easy. It took 167 races here at this racetrack for him to get his first win a year ago, and now he's got 3 within 12 months.
And they've all come late in the race with passes. When he won his first race, he passed Jeremy Lavoie with a couple laps to go. And then the photo finish on Napa SK5K night with Alex Fern, that was coming down to the last lap. And then here, against Matt Clement, with 2 to go coming to the checker, made his move. A great long-run car. He wasn't sure how it was going to be after practice, but I think he feels pretty good about it now.
And we'll button up our preview with the straight stocks. And again, some big contenders having some big trouble over on the back straightaway.
Oh, that backstretch is not kind to Nicholas Hovey. Again, lightning fast, but a cut right rear tire coming off of turn 2. Spun it to the grass. Thankfully, his car is okay. It's not damaged. He didn't get any damage from that wreck, but cut tire ends your night, and he was really good. Travis Hydar, the very next restart in the lead, he has a right front tire go flat, and that gives Bobby Stark the lead. And I mentioned it before, Bobby is close to that first win. He finally got it last Friday. Good for that 9 team. He has just been really good over the last half a season. Consistent top 5 podium runs. Finally paid off, and he showed that excitement in victory lane. He's ready for more.
And as the point leader going into this Friday night, going to be great night of racing. All 5 of the weekly divisions are here. The Open Modifieds and the Call Before You Dig 81. It all gets underway at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And if you can't be here in person, as always, tune us in on FlowRacing.com.